Greetings everyone, Devar with Carib Sunsations here, and today we'll be making a green juice and discussing the benefits and why you should be consuming this juice on a regular basis. Now you're probably wondering why I'm talking like this. To be honest with you, I have no idea. I just put on the beat, began talking, and this is how it came out. Other than fight the feeling and try to be strict as usual and to the point, I decided to just go with it and see what happens. You can probably say that this is the result of self-quarantine and practicing social distancing since the beginning of 2020. But enough small talk, let's get right into the reason why you clicked on this video. As you can see, I'm preparing some cucumbers for my green juice. Now, what is green juice, you ask? Green juice is the end product that you get after processing leafy greens and other produce items via a juicer. The reason why I'm cutting up the produce is because I will be using a juicer known as a slow auger or masticating juicer. This juicer runs at a very low RPM and relies on a method of crushing and squeezing out the produce as opposed to spinning really fast and chopping up the produce like a centrifugal juicer. Masticating juicers typically have a feed chute that requires you to cut up the produce to ensure optimum performance and high yields while juicing. But don't take my word for it. If you have money to waste, especially in these times, then feel free not to prep your produce prior to processing. Wow, that was a lot of peas. Anyway, all of the produce items that I will be using will be found in the description box below, but I will also go over them right here. Today's juice will consist of cucumbers, apples, kale, parsley, fennel, ginger, and key lime. The juicer that I will be using is an Omega 8006, which is probably a relic in the juice world, but it still gets the job done and only required minimum repairs relative to the daily use that I've been putting it through for the past 10 years. Personally, I try to chop my produce up a 1/2 inch wide and 2 inches in length. Although prep time significantly slows down the process, it is well worth it in the end. Now, what in the world is this funny looking celery-like item in my hand, you ask? This is actually a powerful plant called fennel. Fennel is great for purifying the blood, reducing water retention, regulating blood pressure, increasing milk production in nursing mothers. It is also anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antifungal, and great in reducing the formation of blood clots. No, I did not just curse there. It is a real thing. Now we move on to the ginger. If you do not like your juice spicy, then you may want to use less ginger at this point. However, if you're an island child like myself, then you probably got used to spicy foods at a young age. The last item that we're going to be adding to this recipe are key limes. These little guys are so powerful, but sometimes can be hard to find. Just a few benefits of key limes are improved digestion, lower blood sugar, fights infections, reduces heart disease, prevents cancer, and helps with weight loss. If you're battling any of these issues above, then you may want to get these in your life. Now that all the produce is prepped, let's begin. The method of juicing that I like to use is I take a little from each pile and mix it up while I juice. It does not have to be in any particular order. But if you begin with the leafy greens, then take something else from each pile and process through the juicer before you go back to the leafy greens. By juicing this way, you ensure that the leafy greens and key limes push the apples and cucumbers through the juicer. Now let's talk about who should be consuming green juice. In my opinion, the majority of people can benefit. However, for your specific situation, it is advised that you seek professional help. The reason why I say the majority of people can benefit is simple. Just pay attention to what most people are consuming now. We eat on average 3 meals a day, which are heavily processed and virtually void of any vital nutrients. As time goes by, the body begins to have a hard time keeping up with our bad habits. As children, the average child can pretty much eat anything they want and still function fairly well. However, as we get older, we begin to move into that hood. And when I say hood, I'm not referring to that place with questionable activities and frequent law enforcement visits. I'm talking about a place that sometimes can be much worse. A place that you couldn't wait to reach as a child, and now that you're here, you would give anything to turn back the hands of time. I am talking about adulthood. This is where leisure and playtime are replaced by 8 hours of work plus overtime and possibly a second job just to make ends greens. You may not notice it right away, but as we get older, the body gradually begins to slow down, and it is our minds that become restless. We have slowly traded being at ease for dis-ease. Okay, why are you telling me this? I thought this was a juicing video. Well, that's just it. This stuff all ties in together. We are currently in a high-stress environment and we move around significantly less than we did in our childhood. A major part that contributes to this is our daily food consumption habits. Most of the foods that we consume have little to no nutritional value, and as a result, they rob us of the little reserves that the body is able to still produce. However, when you introduce fresh, cold-pressed juices into your body on a regular basis, then you can significantly add back some of the lost vitality. This is because green juices like these are great for improving digestive health. Upon consumption, it floods the body with the nutrients necessary to strengthen your immune system, as well as reduce inflammation and improve digestion. Yes, I said the famous D word that we all ignore. Digestion is very important if you plan to function at your best. There are a total of 6 fundamental activities that make up the total process of digestion. These fundamental activities begin with ingestion, which means the process of absorbing. Although ingestion is not limited to food consumption, for the purposes of this video, we will be sticking with that definition. This process begins when food enters the body via the mouth. Coupled with chewing and the secretion of saliva in the mouth, this helps break down the food in the beginning stages. This process is followed by propulsion, which refers to the movement of food through the digestive tract. This process begins when food is swallowed. Please bear with me for a moment while I explain this process. If you do, then it will be easier to see the things that can go wrong in the human body. After the propulsion process, we then experience peristalsis, which is when the muscles of the intestines begin to contract and relax in a wave-like pattern to help push food contents through a narrow canal. This process is so powerful that even if you were eating or drinking upside down, the food will still make its way through the digestion process. Now we are at the stage of mechanical digestion, which is the process of breaking down and subdividing your food into smaller pieces so that it can be easily mixed with your digestive juices for further processing. Chemical digestion is when nutrients from the food is primarily being absorbed into the bloodstream via the small intestines. Once the small intestines have absorbed all that it can from your food, the undigested remains begin to enter the large intestines in preparation for elimination. If you have made it this far in the video, then please go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can be updated when we release new videos. Now that we have gone through the entire digestive process from beginning to end, I want you to actually think about what it is you're putting in your body on a daily basis. Remember that all food and beverage consumed have to go through this process. Unfortunately, for most of us, we've grown up in a society that values taste and presentation over nutritional quality and food origins. When you put food in your body without taking the time to understand what it is that your body truly needs, then you are potentially opening up yourself to a laundry list of sickness and disease. But consuming fresh juices like this can help tremendously, and here's how. By juicing your produce, what you are doing is giving your body a pre-digested product that can skip the beginning process mentioned and move closer to the absorption stage. This flooding of vital nutrients back into the body can jumpstart a system that has been overburdened for years following a standard American diet, which when abbreviated spells the word SAD, and that's exactly what it is. SAD. SAD in the fact that by the time many of us realize that we need to make some major changes, it is the result of either bad news from a doctor or unexplainable pains that just won't seem to go away. In many ways, a juicer is similar to the human body. Food is processed through a small feed chute similar to the mouth. The solids are then separated from the liquids and come out of their respective channels of elimination. By drinking these juices regularly, you introduce balance again. Food that has not been properly digested yet receives its eviction notice from your new green landlord. There may be a period of discomfort as this process takes place, but once the process is complete, you will feel much better. Also, the more bitter you can tolerate the juice, the more concentrated nutrients your body can potentially utilize after consumption. But Devar, you added apples to this juice. Yes, I did, but that's just to show you how to combine fruits and vegetables for consumption. However, the best way to consume these juices is with the sugar-free fruits like cucumbers. By consuming juices like this, you will notice that your restroom breaks may increase at varying degrees depending on the person and the severity of any underlying condition that he or she may be experiencing, which in the beginning is a good thing, as I stated before. I think we can all agree at this point. If you consume the average 3 meals a day, yet you only experience bowel movement every few days or once per week or more, you have some serious internal blockage issues going on. A great way to free up some of that stubborn, foul fecal matter is to introduce these intestinal freeloaders to Liquid Hulk and have him escort them out the back door and out of the body where they belong. Now, if you know me personally, then you know that I will never just approach someone and tell them what they should or shouldn't eat. We simply point out the fact that the majority of us can truly benefit from incorporating more fruits and vegetables in our lifestyle. People use the pulp in many different ways. But for us, the easiest thing for us to do is add it to our compost and feed it back to our plants in a few months. Whether you decide to juice them, blend them, cook them, or consume them in their natural state, the choice is yours. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be updated when we drop our next video. Peace and love until next time.